All right, so there's Congressman Matt Gaetz trying to visit some of the January 6th protesters who are still in federal custody and not being let inside. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is with him. They won't let her inside either. As you know, lots of people are still in custody. They haven't been convicted of anything. Now, a little later, they do get inside, but they're basically turned away. Take a look.
We're not trespassing. As members of Congress, we have oversight over federal prisons.
The people that vote on whether or not to fund you at what level, and we're trespassing. My gosh, the government is upside down.
Can you please go ask your solicitor?
You right now are obstructing entrance into this facility.
So, as you can see, they're not being welcomed. They're accused of trespassing. These are members of Congress at a federal facility. They're normally treated like VIPs. Let's bring in Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, once again, Republican of Georgia. Welcome back. How are you? Good to see you.
Hi, Greg. It's good to see you, too.
So, look, did you call ahead? Did you make arrangements? I mean, you are a VIP, and you do have oversight over these facilities, but did you make arrangements ahead of time?
We did. We had let them know we were coming. Actually, we've been sending letters and asking questions for months now, trying to find out information about January 6th. We've been asking all kinds of questions, like why the National Guard was not deployed to the Capitol on January 6th. We know for a fact that Nancy Pelosi did not deploy the National Guard, and we're trying to find out why. Today, we went to the prison here in Washington, D.C. to ask questions about the people being detained there, because we've heard horror stories about how they're being treated. While we were there, it was actually reverse order. We had gone into the lobby at first, that clip that you're showing right there, and that woman, she told me that we were trespassing. And we asked questions, Louis Gohmert, Paul Gosar, Matt Gaetz, and myself, and then we were told the supervisor was outside, and they pointed to that lady because she had walked outside. I went outside to speak with her, and when I went up to talk with her, Louis Gohmert came with me, and they closed the doors and locked the doors and would not let us in. Now, you have to understand, for your audience listening, members of Congress have oversight over these types of institutions. We go in and tour detention facilities at the border. We go in and tour all kinds of facilities, and we have never been treated like this before. I also want to say I'm very concerned about the entire population in that prison. Just the lobby was dirty. There were people there. One person that worked there when we were outside called us white supremacists, and I'm just very concerned. I have a lot more questions now than I had before.
It wasn't a federal employee who said that about the white supremacists, right? Or was it?
The person was going into the jail, and I wasn't able to see her uniform, so I can't say for sure, but that was a comment that was made.
You know, when I see you and your colleagues and that official at the prison, you know what I see? I see a standoff between the people and the deep state. That person is not elected. They're breaking out a rule book. You know, they have these massive rule books. Every excuse in the book, literally, to not talk to you, to say you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. I saw that as the people versus the deep state. I mean, that encapsulates for me so much. Do you sense any... Go ahead.
It was very concerning. And I tell you, we just had simple questions like, do they have access to their attorneys? What type of food are they given? Are they allowed to go outside? We just had basic questions. We weren't there to interfere in any case. We are not attorneys. We're members of Congress. We were just assessing the situation in the jail and trying to find out about bad stories we'd heard about. But I am very concerned now.
So, by the way, January 6th committee hearing. Briefly, if you don't mind sharing your thoughts, I don't see how they can have, in good conscience or in any world where it makes sense, to talk about January 6th officially in an official capacity and not talk about Ashley Babbitt.
Yes, I hope that they ask many questions about her and others that were there that day. And but I don't have confidence that they will. And this is why this group that we went to the jail today, this is why we've taken it upon ourselves to ask questions. We also went to the Department of Justice on Tuesday, where we were not even allowed in the lobby. They made us stand out on the sidewalk. We had notified them in advance that we were coming, just like we did for the jail, and they would not even let us in the lobby to get safety, get into safety off the streets. There were many activists coming, and it was just a few years ago that Republican members of Congress were shot on the baseball field by a communist Bernie Sanders supporter.
They may not like you. They may not be of the same party, these permanent deep state employees, but you are elected and they aren't. And this is outrageous what's happening. Hey, we've got to get your take on this ridiculous mask situation on Capitol Hill. I understand the Senate is a mask-free zone, but the House masks are mandatory. And you bravely and rather dramatically, with some of your Republican colleagues, marched over to the Senate. And Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, I hope you don't mind, but we set it to some music. I think you might like it. I know I do. Take a look. I thought this was remarkable what you did, how you did it, and I give you a lot of credit, but you were there. What was happening? What was on your mind?
Well, thank you. I love the video. The music is great. I wish I'd been playing there in the halls. I've been fighting these mask mandates for a long time. I actually had been fined before by the House Ethics Committee, where 4 out of 5 Democrats on the House Ethics Committee who had signed a resolution to expel me from Congress refused to recuse themselves, and they voted that I should be fined. So this has been an ongoing thing for me. I don't wear masks on the House floor. I refuse to. And that's why Thomas Massie and Ralph Norman and I are suing Nancy Pelosi. If anyone's interested in that, go to speakermaskhole.com and you can find out more. But we're suing Nancy Pelosi because she is abusing power as her position as Speaker of the House. And, the Senate doesn't have to wear masks, but yet the House has to wear masks. And today, Nancy Pelosi told the Capitol Police to arrest staff and visitors in the Capitol coming in and into our offices even if they are not wearing a mask. And this is outrageous. I've called for the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. I've called to vacate the chair. So I'm doing everything I can to work against this woman, and I was excited that my colleagues and I made a trip over to the Senate past the magical barrier, that stops COVID. It's invisible. You can't see it, Greg. But when you walk through the rotunda to the Senate side, you can't catch COVID. But when you come back to the House side, into the black hole, I call it a black hole because it is like going into an abyss where Nancy Pelosi reigns. Apparently, COVID is rampant. You have to wear a mask.
The DMZ zone, the D-mask zone. Here's Congressman Loudermilk. I think he's the one on the right. I'm not sure who he's walking with, but they're coming from the Senate side, going to the House side, and there they are, right there in the rotunda, and boom, that's where you can get COVID, not on the other side. Listen, I don't think she could. She can. I don't think she has the authority to make cops do that. I don't think cops have the authority to arrest anybody.
No.
Yeah.
No, and that's Barry Loudermilk. His district is next to mine in Georgia, so great colleague of mine in Georgia. That's a great video. I absolutely love it. But no, this is actually abuse of the Capitol Police. Nancy Pelosi abuses the Capitol Police. She did not protect them. She didn't bring the National Guard in on January 6th, and the Capitol Police were left out there to defend the Capitol in some very violent situations.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.